to cover too. So let's pull up our boy Roman and talk CPT for a little bit. Roman, you
Hey
hear us?
guys, how are you?
Wait a minute.
Can you hear
I
me?
think we're good. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think we're
Wow,
good.
I,
that's great.
are
This is
we
a
I,
good?
breakthrough.
actually, I was here about 5 minutes ago, and then the audio cut out, so I restarted. But um, seems to be working now, so that's
Okay,
good.
good. Well, yeah, this
Yeah.
is this is historic then if we can get you on here with no technical difficulties from the start. But how are you guys doing? Still rocking it out. We were enjoying the Super
So
Bowl this weekend. It was
we've been super busy. I think you can imagine, uh, and lots of hardware stuff. We have a new site coming soon, right? Products. We have some potentially massive deals on the way. So it's all happening. Patrick's pushing. He's flying around. I think he's in London at the moment. I think he just came back from New York, and I think he's gonna go back to New York probably like end of the week. So he's keeping busy, and he's keeping us all busy,
as
Nice.
Patrick does. Yeah.
as Patrick does. But today, actually, guys, I wanted to talk about. Do you remember? It feels like an eternity ago that we showed some drones that were charging from magnetic resonance, right?
Yeah.
So I think today would be great to go through that in particular. We
Please.
have some more news, some developments. We can basically share that the work has reached a new phase, and we are building currently a drone that not only would be charging from magnetic resonance like we showed, but also we are working with a University of Applied Sciences and Engineering in Fribourg in Switzerland. So you can go and check them out. They have a phenomenal facility, and we're specifically working with a guy called Professor Maza. He's actually one of the sort of grandfathers, I would say, of CPT. He worked with PowerCast actually on their RF solution. And once again, we're bringing the team back together. So he has experience working with PowerCast, and it just so happened he was like, I've done this before. And I'm like, fantastic.
That is so perfect.
Yeah, it's a small world. There's not many people doing what we're doing. So it's very exciting for us, and we hope that it looks like by maybe mid-March or something like that, we'll have potentially a record-breaking attempt.
Ooh.
Yes.
A record attempt. That's very very vague, I feel like.
Well, infinite flight time.
Infinite fly time.
Infinite flight time. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we're going for.
How can you break the record for infinite flight time if the record will never end because it's infinite?
Well, that is a great question. I mean, how long does it have to fly for it to count as infinite? Like what?
Long time.
Infinite is such a term, really, isn't it?
It's like trying to get ChatGPT to count to 1 million.
Right. It's exactly that. It's exactly that. But it's very exciting to work with a great university professor that's done it before, and it's funny how I guess things work in circles. He worked originally with PowerCast, and then here we are again.
Yeah. So my question about that is, was this a PowerCast relationship builder right there? Did they connect you with this guy?
No. Actually, I have some mutual contacts, and he came as highly recommended. And I was speaking to and working with Powercast totally independently, and with Professor Mazza as well, totally independently. And then at some point he was like, "Oh, by the way, I've also worked with Powercast on
That's
their
hilarious.
RF solution like many moons ago." I was like, "Oh, wow, great." But this guy's great. You know, he sends stuff to space. He's yeah, I mean, he's worked on a team that has made like these. It's like a sailing drone, sort of. It's like sailing robot,
Okay.
and it won some awards. It's really a great university,
So my
and they have, yeah.
what I would like to know more about is it seems like a lot of your team consists of highly renowned university professors, brilliant minds in this field. Like when you think about hiring and a team that you're building out, is it like brain power that you're looking for, or like how did you get all these guys in one room working on the same thing, and like what kind of value is it that they bring to the table?
Well, I mean, how do you reach those sorts of people is it's a contact based kind of world, you know. People recommend you, and referrals, of course. Patrick has a phenomenal and seen profile, right, online. I don't have a very visible profile online, but I can tell you that I have some pretty good referrals. So that works for me. And no, it's all about bringing a team together that shares a vision. And Mazza has a phenomenal vision as well, and he's technically very gifted too. And when you have those two elements, you can make some really exciting products.
What is the magnetic resonance drone that you're looking to break this world record in March for infinite flight? What what does it look like? What's the form factor of the drone?
Yeah, so do you remember, it feels like an eternity ago, although in hardware it's just like yesterday. But
Yeah.
I think we showed, it was like a drone hangar. So the drone is charging in the hangar, right? Then there was some charging when it goes into a loading bay. And then the final step is charging through a series of hoops like a highway.
Yes.
Yeah, so the first step is to create that hangar. That's step one. So we're basically making effectively like a little surface or hangar, right? And the drone, it will be hovering, powering everything without battery in the middle of that. So that's the aim of step one.
So is that using
Yeah, and
this
then so
here? Yeah.
so that basically. And
Right.
what does that enable? That basically enables a system to charge the drone while it's still mission ready. So there's some already, like some solutions which are like these drone hangars, right? And then they like open up and then the drone is released,
Yeah.
right? Whereas, and that's using induction charging usually. But when the drone returns to it, there's some alignment issues because induction is very sensitive to the right alignment. And okay, maybe like 99 times out of 100, the landing is perfect and is charging, sure. But what about in real world conditions, where you need that reliability and flexibility of magnetic resonance, whereby you can land anywhere around the surface? It doesn't have to be precise,
Yeah.
and then it's charging. So that's like a massive added benefit for system reliability and operation in difficult or real world conditions. So that is tackling that particular application. You could also create these sort of like charging, like let's call it bus stops, right? Where you deploy these little charging pads all around the place, and your drones could be working, surveilling, doing whatever they're doing, and then they'll land for a couple of minutes, charge up, and then fly off again. So that's like the first stage. And then the second stage would be to enlarge that charging area. So then you can have a drone charging while it's picking up cargo, for example, whatever that cargo could be, whether it's organs, blood,
Walmart packages,
whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the final stage is to create these drone highways, because most delivery drones are taking the same route all the time, and then they'll peel off. It's like a highway in the sky. It's just obviously we don't see it. And that's the final stage. Basically, build these highways, and you will need to work out exactly the frequency of those poles. I think you'll end up being between one pole every 2 or 3 meters. So then you create these highways through which drones fly, and then they charge.
So to
versus
summarize,
now, which is anyways they fly through these highways.
So to summarize this, you're
saying,
saying,
oh my gosh, guys, I think I've lost audio again.
Testing.
Can you hear me, Don?
All right, let me reconnect.
Dude,
Don, you got me though, right?
I hear you. Yeah, we're good. Of course. It's the usual. Man, I jinxed us. It was so my fault.
I don't know what's up with Roman, man.
All right, I'm back.
What's going on with your? There's a bug somewhere in your system, Roman, but all good. You can hear us. So just to confirm, you're making a world record attempt. You said in the next 6 weeks, you're going to use not the drone highway, but you're going to use this, I guess, solution here where it's in that kind of hangar zone or whatever. And it will just hover in that hangar indefinitely, or is it gonna hover in there, move around, come back, and it just keeps in aloft that way?
So basically, there's a 3-dimensional magnetic field around that loop, and the trick is to try to sustain enough transmission to keep the drone aloft. And it's a bit of a tight balancing act, because right now the system hasn't yet been, let's say, optimized for drones. We're in process of doing that, but we wanted to get something out to you guys a bit sooner. So it's a bit of a tricky balance between weight, between how much power is transferred, also the size of a drone versus its lifting capability. So there's some tricky sort of balancing act. But yeah, the idea is to sustain its flight within the magnetic field as a proof of concept. Not that it needs any more proof, because it's demonstrated already. But hey, why not? It's a worthwhile thing to do.
So are you guys tweaking these kind of last things? Because so it's funny, since I've started talking about CPT on here, my my Facebook algorithm, believe it or not, I still go on Facebook. But there I see now like reels of drone companies that are trying this. Some of them are doing, I think one was doing like microwave, transfer of energy, and the drone was hovering there. But they all seem in various stages of like proving this is possible. From your guys' perspective, like how much of this has actually been tested and demonstrated and you're dialing in, or you haven't even kind of really tested it yet and it's more of simulation?
It's all about dialing it in, because we know the generator works. We've tested a generator, validated it. The receiver, we know exactly how much power is currently in the current generation. we know the exact like amount of power that we can sustain and for how long. So it's all about putting it together into a product.
Right. Okay.
But don't underestimate how complex that could be, because if you it's not like just putting in a battery or an extra battery, right? It's there's power management. Like there's a couple of
well, you're
toasty
doing
drones
like
that I have.
live flight control, you know, you got
Yeah,
environmental
it's a lot. It's a lot.
considerations.
Yeah, and
Okay.
even something as simple as right now, the current generation generator is operating on a horizontal plane, right? And
Yep.
if the drone is on a vertical plane, then power transfer doesn't work anymore. It has to be matching. So that sort of development takes time. But we wanted to basically demonstrate this as soon as possible in a public way, and also presumably from that point we can then start shipping consumer products as well. Just why not, you know, get it into the hands of people. And sort of the bigger drones, the bigger contracts, they'll have to wait a little bit longer for the MagRes generator, for the larger one to come in, larger receiver. So that takes a bit more time, but we wanted to do this, create this public demonstration, and then be able to, from that point, start selling consumer products.
And what will
just so
that
people can
look
try
like? Will this be like a hanger? Like, so for instance, we'll restream your stream. So if you do a public demonstration and it's live or it's a video even, and you can send it to us, we'll feature it. Will we turn it on and be like, it's a hanger and like there's this like kind of, you know, like,
I mean, that depends on the, I mean, basically that's like peripheral decoration, I would say, right?
Okay.
But it is important. So I'll speak to the professor and be like, okay, look, we need to make it look cool. I don't know how he'll handle that, but we'll give it a go. No, I mean, ultimately, when we're talking about consumer product, it's got to look cool, right? So I don't know how cool this one will like look. I'm not saying it's going to be like a Star Wars hangar and it's like opening and like smoke and stuff, but I mean, we'll get there. Yeah.
I think the concept is fascinating. I think it's a viral concept if you can do it right and make a sick video about it. I'm sure you guys have already discussed that, but you know, I remember seeing the X1 robot, or there was one robot that went super viral originally when it released. It was like doing house chores and walking around the house, and they were putting clothes on and all that stuff.
Looking over your head.
Yeah, I remember how viral it went though, and I could just like picture that, except with impulser technology and a drone infinitely flying and some sort of marketing campaign around it. But I do think it's like a super cool concept. So
yeah, and the other thing is this, like, there's a couple of US companies, US military-backed companies that have been doing wireless power transfer. I mean, we like to brand it as contactless power transfer, but hey, wireless power transfer is what they've been doing, and it does work. But again, they're locked into military contracts, military development, and they're US based, right? So being basically being the first European-based solution, well, maybe even the first solution outside of America that is demonstrating this in a non-exclusively military context is commercially very interesting. Because again, I think there's a couple of companies that have demonstrated it a long time ago. I mean, in the 1950s and 60s.
Wow.
I think it's some American military development guys. They did like I think it was like a 27 kilowatt transfer over like 20 miles or something crazy,
wow.
you know, and it was like with a massive dish. Yeah. So like, it's definitely possible. It's just that people haven't brought it to commercial industrial use case, and certainly not to consumers. And so with this particular thing, we want to take it to we want to give it to consumers as well.
I want to know like what the vision is there for consumer commercial use case. You talked about the drone highways, which I think are fascinating. San Francisco does it a lot right now, where you have the Uber Eats or DoorDash being delivered by drones in certain areas. When to make this really make sense for everyone here, when you think of commercial uses of a drone highway per se, like what does that practically look like? Who's using it? What are they using it for? Just as an example here.
Yeah. Okay. So there's drone deliveries is a rapidly growing market, and it's very interesting. I mean, in the US, you have a lot of innovation there, but also think about other countries, such as I think there's a lot of solutions happening right now in Africa, where let's say there was maybe not the best infrastructure, not the best roads, and you need to deliver like blood from one hospital to another, or some medicine to some patients, and it's challenging, especially like during the rainy season or some abnormal weather conditions. You know, it's difficult, and that's when drones come in. But also, even in highly developed countries like the US, and even dense countries, geographically speaking, like Switzerland, drone deliveries are a very interesting way to move high value goods quickly. So if you need to move an organ, right, for an operation, you can either send it by like courier, or you can, for a fraction of a price, send it via drone from one hospital to another. That's already being deployed in Switzerland. Now, these drones are mainly using, like if you look at their works cycles, they're basically parked up in some sort of hangar, usually. Then someone walks over there and like loads it manually, and then it takes off, follows a predetermined route, and then lands, drops. Then another human comes over, unpacks it, and sends it back on its way. Then it lands wherever it came from and recharges for a long time, right? So with these magnetic resonance solutions, i.e. charging at the hangar, charging in the loading bay, and then charging en route on a pre-planned highway, drone highway, which already exists. The drone highways already exist. It's just we don't like see them. Okay. You just maintain power, you maintain battery, so you're able to have round-the-clock operations. And finally, if we're able to charge in the loading bays, then you actually don't necessarily need a human to go and you don't need two people to go and load it. You can have an automation of loading and unloading. So again, it's just like increasing efficiencies. And that's why it's an interesting thing to develop.
Yeah, it's fascinating. How soon can we expect demos, or is the soonest one going to be the infinite flying drone here mid-March?
Yeah, I mean that's the earliest demo I think that we'll do for this one. It's all about, you know, scheduling. The university is busy. Yeah. So you need to find a slot. The researchers need to find a slot. The manufacturing needs to find a slot. So you work with what you got in terms of timing.
Great.
Got it.
So I think
one
March,
last I think one last question on this is, so once you do a demonstration and everyone's like, wow, that's amazing, we'll be pretty stoked about that. I'm not gonna lie. I think that'll be really cool, play well on social media. What's next from that? Is it, so you've demonstrated the technology, you have the system in place, are you going to customers and saying, hey, here's the final solution, you should implement this Walmart drone delivery company, it'll cost 100 grand? Like, what is that kind of next step from a successful demonstration and world record attempt?
Exactly that. Once you do that demo, and if you do the marketing around it correctly, because that's actually the biggest challenge. Right now, that's the biggest challenge, to do the right marketing, because we know it's gonna work. We know it's gonna work because absolute minimum, we know we can deliver enough power to it to make it useful versus induction. Okay, like it's like a 5% chance that we get the balance wrong, and then it can only sustain flight for, say, like 3 hours, right? But that's not the point. The point is to compete with induction, which is basically like where we are now, and this is a lot better than where we are, right? So it's already a lot better. And our goal is to make sure that the marketing is interesting and viral enough for us to then go ahead and commercialize it. So that's the biggest challenge. After it's done, obviously, it'll be there in a very nice university. It'll be very like nice to visit, nice to look at, right? And then you can start bringing people over, and then it just kind of snowballs. I think someone had the idea of basically putting like a live webcam on it.
Yeah.
And just like having a link, and then we just like walk away from it and just like leave it on. Which would be pretty fun. I don't know how long the motors will last, because that is another point of development, actually. Because right now, a lot of these drone motors, they're rated for like a couple of 100 hours.
Yeah.
Which is fine when your drone is flying for 7 minutes, 10 minutes. But if it's flying like
for a week
continuously, then you need to look into the motor technology as well. So it takes, there's a lot of moving elements, but once the marketing is, if the marketing is done right, it will go quite quickly. Yeah.
So one last piece on the drone side, you teased a drone on last week, and we showed it on MCG. Are you okay if we show that video again and discuss that drone? Is that still on the internet? Or
I don't know if that is on. That was a meme, basically, right? Because we put Macron on it as a joke, because he was talking about basically Macron at Davos. He was basically defending that, yes, Europe is slow and it's not very effective, but hey, it's not that bad of a place, right?
Oh, geez.
And we were making a joke that sometimes we're a bit slower than what people want us to be, but ultimately we are heading in the right direction. Now that drone specifically is the platform for the S drone. Now we went out to a couple of customers, right? And those customers said, we love it, but could you include VTOL in it?
Okay.
And so we were like, you know what? Customers king. We listen, and we're like, all right, we'll make a VTOL. And so there you have basically a VTOL drone. It will actually be on our new site, available for purchase for professional customers. Well, I mean, consumers can also buy it, but it's pretty expensive. I think it's gonna be from memory. I think it's gonna be $50,000 to $75,000.
Yeah.
Per unit. So I don't know really how many drones. Consumers. Yeah.
Right.
So it's gonna be on our site. We have a new site coming imminently. It's basically done. We just need to like quality control it. And it's gonna have that on there. You'll be able to reserve, buy, all that, and we have the S-Drone platform that's on there. And on top of that, we've decided to upgrade the S-Drone to vertical takeoff and landing.
Can we show the video? I have questions.
Yeah, go on. Let's show the video.
All right. You're gonna have to give me a
Guys,
second.
bear in mind this is a meme. All right, this is a meme. This was sent internally as a joke. No one take it too seriously, please.
Now it did get tweeted out. In all fairness to MCG, so why don't Dom ask a question, and I'm gonna go hunt it down on our live stream, and I'll reshare it. But I was just looking for it.
Yeah. No, on the new website, you could have the stream at the university just be 24/7 on the new website somewhere.
That would be epic. Honestly, the site is something that we're working on a lot. There's like 4 people working on the site at all times. We're gonna have effectively an AI tour guide, product person thing. I don't know. And the AI will basically be able to guide people through what products they could find interesting. The drones, they could ask questions. Is an interesting feature, and I think it will help us convert. And also we'll have a product page with a drone or 2, or maybe more. I don't know. We'll see. And there's also going to be a bunch of other products there for consumers as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, so we've seen here 6+ active operations. You mentioned there were a few products you haven't released yet. Are those going to be on the new site?
Yeah, it will. It will. We're gonna phase it in. That number 6+ might be increasing. We are closing in on a very, very tidy deal, which will make it not 6, but it'll bring it up to 12. And when we do that, 12. My maths are terrible. 16. It'll be 16, not 12.
Oh my gosh.
And we'll be able to talk about it, I hope, maybe even end of this week. Honestly, it was supposed to be wrapped up. The deal was supposed to be wrapped up last week. It's for LiveFinder, global distribution for LiveFinder. So I was hoping it would be wrapped up last week. That was what we actually intended to talk about. But the management, the 2 guys who are signing off on the deal, they were really ill, man flu. And so we couldn't get it done in time, but hopefully this week we'll get it done.
You said that'll put you up to 16?
Yeah.
And these are like sales, like customer sales?
Yeah, these are like, sales, teams, like it'll be good. Like it's a big announcement. I'm really hoping to get that deal across the line this week. All parties are agreed to it. It's just a matter of dotting the I's and crossing the T's and that. But whatever the expression
always
is.
The most challenging part of any deal is getting that signature.
No. Everyone's agreed. It's just about like paperwork, and salespeople, like everyone involved in a deal is like a natural salesperson, and salespeople do not like admin. I can tell you that. But it'll get done. I'm really confident on it, and I think it'll be an absolutely phenomenal announcement to make.
Are these products that you're putting out, like, it seems like they're very tailored per customer? Are you like majorly focused on, hey, we're willing to tailor products for you if that's what you want. You just got to tell us what you need, rather than, hey, we have this set of products, this product suite per se, and you can go and pick from it?
Yes, exactly that. In fact, part of the website will have a custom section on there, because again, like a lot of these solutions are bespoke. That's why they take time, especially like the IoT, smart sensor, powercast solutions. They do require quite substantial, often require substantial adaptation to a specific use case. So it does take a bit more time, but then again, those are bigger deals. So there's a nice balance to be had there. But of course, we will definitely have a variety of products that are just ready to go, plug and play, let's say, and consumer products as well.
Why does this bespoke custom model make the most sense for you guys rather than just having a set that you have set technology and people can just buy that?
Yeah, I'm gonna be careful here, not to upset Patrick and Powercast specifically. But just one specific customer of Powercast, I think they did a third of their entire sales just in one order.
Oh my gosh.
So that is enormous. Yeah, absolutely enormous.
And this is Powercast. They've sold how many units?
30 million units in the last 24 months.
30 million units in the last 24 months, and one of their clients or customers
did customers
1/3.
did a third, like about a third in like a couple of orders. Yeah, so it's huge.
And so
right.
so your point there is, okay, tailored to these customers that are going to make these big orders and just just get it done however whatever means necessary.
Yeah, I mean, that is an objective. I don't want to say that we're exclusively hunting these big orders because if you're looking at the health of a business, you can't be reliant on one or two customers. You
Right.
gotta diversify your risk. So it's not like we're massively hunting for these massive contracts. We do have several of them playing out as we speak. They take time. They're also like a little bit less margin, but they make good volume.
Mm-hmm.
If you're speaking to a massive company, I'm trying really not to say it out loud.
Come on, Roman, it's okay.
If you're talking to a really big company, they try to squeeze you for every percentage. So that's why you wanna have a wide variety of customers. You don't want to just go for the big guys.
Sure. Josh, you got your meme up here.
Yeah, let's
there it is.
So disclosure, this is a meme.
There's a meme.
The Macron thing for the non-Europeans. I mean, I think we all just like kind of laugh.
You're confused. You're confused at this, but basically,
European politics is like.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 50 little states, and we're all having their own problems. Basically, he's just saying like Europe is slow, and we're sorry, but it's not that bad. And there it is. So there's the VTOL capability right there. It's just testing it. But as you can see, it's in a glider configuration as well. Flight time, it's going to be listed on site, but flight time without CPT is 4 hours. And we will be upgrading it to infinite flight time. But I don't want anyone to underestimate the size of the conventional battery-powered drone market that we are addressing. I always say that CPT is a conversation starter, right? It always opens the door, and then we go in and we can offer a wide array of solutions. We can say, look, you can buy one laser-powered, infinite flight time S-drone, or you can have, for the same price, like 5 or 6 conventional powered, like battery operator ones. Yeah, you're going to have to cycle them, but hey, they're great. They're great drones, high quality, and it's a great solution for some people.
So you have a like hybrid fixed wing drone quadcopter here. I've seen this become a more popular configuration because it gives you VTOL capability with the persistence that a fixed wing and range that a fixed wing drone has. Now, how does this is going to be powered by the laser, right?
So on the S drone, and you'll see this. I think we mentioned it initially. We'll have several powertrains.
Okay,
so
yeah,
there's
right.
going to be one that is conventional battery powered, which will be the most economical as well. The most, let's say, affordable. We'll have an upgrade for a jet powered one, and we'll have an upgrade for the laser, and then we'll have an upgrade for the Fortitude. So the laser and the Fortitude could be different options. We're absolutely going to do the Fortitude engine, but that's also the most expensive. So like a customer might say, 300,000 and upwards, depending on the sensor package that they choose, might be a bit too much for someone. So they might go, I'll buy 6 conventional powered ones for the same price, and again, like the CPT opens the door, but ultimately you're still selling the solution. And this is what we talked about right from the onset. Like MPULSER is not just a CPT company, because otherwise we would just be selling like laser power converters, just like chips, right? We're not doing that. We're selling the solution. And that's why we're not locked into this terrible struggle that chip manufacturers are in, where it's a race to the bottom. We give ourselves that ability to deploy the solution, be close to the end user, drive margin, and also drive brand awareness, which is the main goal, actually.
I see this little black ball there at the bottom. I don't know if that's part of the laser receiver that you had talked about before.
No.
That's just a landing
the optical
gear
sensor. Right now.
Okay.
At the front is the optical sensor.
Got it. Okay.
At the front is the optical sensor. So this is let's say Gen 0. Okay, we're gonna need to over time make upgrades to it. But the core components, the airframe is there and it's in place. It's working really well, and people will be able to buy it as soon as the site is up.
And that optical sensor, is that kind of receiving the drone beam? Like it's not the receiver, or is that just something that's just like a video? That's just an FPV video.
No. Right now is so on that particular one. Right now, that particular one is just the optical sensor. So it's camera. I think it's thermal as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
But the Fortitude engine will operate with something similar for the laser. So you'll see 2 of those basically.
Makes sense. I want to go back to Narcissus here. Narcissus is one of the biggest holders of CPT, maybe the biggest holder of CPT. Good friend of the show. I guess all of the questions I want to gear towards investors at some sense of the day. So like when we talk about this stuff, what does it mean for investors? You have the 16 products that are coming on the new site. You have this demonstration you plan to do by mid-March. We just saw kind of an early version of what the drone is going to look like, one of the drones. What does this all mean for investors? How does this like increase the value or perceived value of the company? Just want to try to gear it back in that direction.
So for all our participants, holders, it's always a challenge, I think, trying to value a company, whether that's in this space or in traditional investment. It's always a challenge. I would, though, recommend people to research how long it takes hardware companies to do something and how quickly we're moving. Because look, there's a lot of distributors who would be like itching to get their hands on PowerCast, like a deal, like what we've concluded with PowerCast, like a deal we've concluded with LifeFinder, and many more that are coming. What we've done in such a short period of time is really remarkable, and I think that speaks volumes about the strength of the team. which is at the end of the day the most important, because you can have the best plan in the world, and I think, what is that military saying? It's like no plan survives contact with the enemy, right? So, and it's all about it's all about the team finding solutions, and so that's, if you believe in the team, that's the most fundamental part of it.
Yeah, Dom Lemon here, who is looks like
Oh
me with
my,
11
is
watches.
that that's a new meme coin for sure.
Love to see it. I hear CPT might be adding a genius new staking feature. I remember we were talking a little bit on the last show. We were trying to figure out, what exactly are you guys looking to do for holders? I thought, hey, maybe just sit back, do nothing. This is like holding the company, having the upside of the company is good enough. You were in the comments saying, hey guys, like reach out. I want to hear the feedback. I just want to hear it all from the investor standpoint.
No, I mean, everyone needs to give us feedback. Hey, like we're super open. Like just give us feedback. Yeah.
Nice. LifeFinder and PowerCast deal. I mean, those are massive deals. I want to help people understand how big those are.
Can I just go back to the staking just for 1 second?
Oh yeah, please.
I'm sorry. I
And pull Don Lemon's quote back up because it's great.
Look,
real account.
Regarding, like, first of all, any sort of feedback, we are super open. Honestly, I think you guys will be surprised how much how much time Patrick is spending reading through every comment, like listening to people. He's like messaging me saying like, oh my God, this guy said this, like, what should we do about it? I'm like, Patrick, I don't know. Like, let me handle this drone, right? So we're like super open to that. And we need to balance it because we are a startup, like an actual startup, not like these guys who call themselves startups, but they've raised like $2 billion already. We're an actual startup. So I can't promise things. I can't say like we're gonna definitely do that or definitely do this, but we're gonna talk about it. We'll take your feedback. And I absolutely guarantee you guys, like Patrick really spends a lot of time thinking about like how to communicate and how to like thank and work with our holders. So just keep sending them in. I don't know whether there is a new genius staking feature. I don't know, but it might be, but I don't know.
Well, we appreciate Crypto Jones. He's a good friend of the show, so we always appreciate seeing him here and his feedback.
Dom Lemon I tweeted that out too because it's just too good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good meme. Shout out Crypto Jones, man.
It's a good meme.
He's a beast. I want to talk about the LifeFinder and PowerCast deal because you just said, we're really a startup. We haven't gone and raised $2 billion at some, multi-hundred-billion-dollar valuation or whatever it is. How does the LifeFinder and PowerCast deal help you guys in terms of burn rate, runway, and then like the need to like you can avoid now maybe gaining funding if you have these cash flow deals in place? Like how are you guys looking at that from a funding perspective? Is this helping you guys avoid needing future fundraising, or how are you guys looking at that?
Well, first of all, we look at it as just interesting opportunities. Obviously, LifeFinder is an absolutely phenomenal product, proven itself already. The user reviews from professionals is outstanding. And for us to be working with them is an honor. And obviously, if we can and when we will generate revenue, it's gonna help. One of the benefits of our agreement with LifeFinder is that we don't need to like today buy a bunch of stock to hopefully sell it tomorrow. It's a real partnership, so their stock is there. We can sell it. We can do this. We can do that. We can make agreements for them. Fantastic. As a startup, that's what you kind of dream of. And that is also similar to PowerCast, whereby we know they have proven products. They're selling great in the US, and we have this phenomenal opportunity that we're going to capitalize on to sell it around the world. And it also adds so much credibility to the team and to our company, that we are working with such great partners. And I don't know whether we can say, all right, just because of the revenue, we will or we will not do a raise. That I think there's like slightly different conversations there. But obviously we want to generate as much revenue, as much profit as possible, as soon as possible, because again, we're a startup, and so we need to keep moving forwards at breakneck speeds.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great point. I think it's incredible that you guys have these deals in place. I want people to realize the magnitude of these deals, because it's super impressive, and I like high hopes for what you guys do with those. Josh, I'm pretty much good on questions. I know, Roman, you probably have a whole arsenal of things you could whip out and talk about all day. So if you have anything,
yeah, you have a cheat sheet normally. Is there anything else on your cheat sheet for today?
Well, I got a new laptop, so I'm working off that. I thought that would solve the audio issues, but it didn't. But behind this laptop is my desktop, and I have a massive cheat sheet up here. Like, it's huge. Yeah.
Let's start rattling it off.
Well, I mean, when you live and breathe it, I don't really need too many hints. But no, look, we're on the move. I think maybe it hasn't yet become like known, or like people haven't realized just how big Lifefinder and Powercast agreements are. They're absolutely enormous, and I would be keen to tell people that there's another very big announcement, hopefully for Lifefinder, coming up this week. That's my hope. And we're gonna have a new website launch imminently, and we're just like quality controlling it. That's gonna have several products on there. The Gen 0 of the S drone there as well. So that's perhaps ahead of schedule. I don't know how you guys see that. And we're developing the consumer MagRes drone and hanger, with a hopeful demonstration in March. So those are the key pieces of news that we have.
And that drone for the demonstration, is it a quadcopter, or is it like the patent filing is, where it's kind of got this like, you know, it's almost like one of the push drones that,
yeah,
I don't know how to describe
it. So we wanted to do the one in the patent, but I think we're going to end up with we've selected to do a quadcopter for a couple of reasons. Number one is stability. So if we have to do this like this near infinite or infinite flight time demo, what we don't want is for it to be a little bit like less stable. We need it really stable, because if like we like leave it, we don't want it to like crash into something after like a few hours, right? So quadcopter gives you a lot of advantages for stability, maneuverability, and also if the goal is to, from this product, to then go and make a consumer product, we also want to harness as stable a platform as possible. So we're going to go with a quadcopter, just for the stability.
Got it. The one in the filing, what's the benefit of having, because it has a shroud on it that can be conducive to lift or something, but is that one's like kind of like an interceptor or something, like its use case is a little
shroud
different.
is the shroud is able to hold 2 MagRes receivers or more, which allows it to charge faster, basically. Whereas the quadcopter that we're doing now will only be able to contain one receiver. So each receiver is like a loop, right? Yeah. And for the quadcopter now, we'll only use one. But for the filing one, the intention was to have 2, maybe even 3 or 4. Because the thing is this, like, you're going to need to have that loop. Also, the bigger the loop, the more dense the loop, the more energy you're receiving. So and this is why design of the drone in its entirety is so important. Because if you only like design a part of a drone and then you add the CPT after, it's just like some weird Frankenstein. It doesn't work together. As well as when you really like design it from start to finish. So anyways, like that shroud would have to be there, or like those receiver coils would have to be around the drone. So we were thinking, well, if it's there already, let's use it for something. Let's get some more utility out of it rather than just some electronics hanging off it, right? So that's why design is so important of every product in its entirety. And that's why I think a lot of these drone companies now, they're going to quickly find out that you can't just take CPT and like just chuck it onto a drone that they have now. It just won't function very well.
In the shroud, is this just like copper coiling? Like what is the actual,
No.
you say receiver, what is the receiver?
Well, yeah, okay. So here's the thing. We put this out, right? Because there was, in the early days, a lot of pressure to put something out like this. This is not at all like the final full disclosure. Okay. So how that receiver actually works is a bit of a secret. But
Okay.
it's not just a bunch of wires. All right. It's actually quite complex because there's an active feedback loop between the generator and the receiver. And if you didn't have that active feedback loop, you would struggle to have the 3-dimensional or almost 3-dimensional transmission of power. So I can't go into it too much. I'm sorry. I wish I could. But it's a lot more than just that.
Don Lemon has one more question.
Don Lemon.
Crypto
Do you think
Jones
it'll be a portable version?
Yeah. Do you think there will be a portable version that could be carried in a backpack for snowboarding or ultra marathons? Very specific there.
Actually, that is one of the intentions that we have, to make it make a MagRes generator transmitter on the go. So funnily enough, that is in the works. So that is literally in the works.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great question, Jones. Cool. Boys, I'm pretty much good on that. I think you really covered a lot today. Josh, anything?
No, we're good. We're definitely good.
All right, great. Well,
we in 6 weeks we would
way.
love to be in the hangar with you, shooting this, by the way. Maybe like Dom and I could do a Mr. Beast style, like world record attempt.
Might
be there for a month, but who knows?
One of the challenges that I'm having, and this is just one of those real world challenges that you have, is getting the authorization through to start beaming an ungodly amount of laser power. Like it's challenging. Switzerland is small, it's compact. Geneva is also small, and it's even more compact, even smaller, and there's a heck of a lot of historical and very flammable buildings. The airport is close, and so it's been a bit of a challenge. I'll give you an example. For the S drone to function, we ideally want to have a transmitter, which is there we go. to have a transmitter which is operating on about 4,000 watts. For context, 5 watts can cut steel.
Oh my gosh.
So I found a couple of labs. I've been talking to them for a while, and I was like, look guys, any chance I can do a 4 kilowatt transmission in the basement?
Yeah. So what would this like blow the building up, dude, or catch it on fire? Like, what would the implications be?
Yeah, if we miss, yeah.
And they were like, "All right, sweet."
Which is difficult. Which is difficult because we're obviously making this active alignment system. I can't go into the specifics of how it functions, but as an example, it needs to hit a golf ball sized target 5 kilometers away while that thing is traveling between 15 to 45 meters per second. So missing initially is going to be fairly common. Obviously, we'll iron it out, and the design of the software and the system and the alignment and the AI involved in it can absolutely do that targeting. And in fact, military laser weapons can already achieve similar feats, if not surpass it. So we know it can be done. It's just when you're going to like the authority and be like, guys, we might miss a couple of times.
Oh my
and
they're
like, well, how powerful is it? And you're like, well, it's like 2,000 times more powerful than the stuff cutting steel. Yeah, it's
like Star Wars, dude.
Can be tricky.
It's like, it sounds like Star Wars where they have those little laser guns and they can shoot people and they just it just goes right through them.
Yeah, I mean, the only difference is this: like, for cutting laser, you have a really, really fine, precise beam, like very concentrated, very fine. And ours actually use a lot of beam expanders, so it's not anywhere near as concentrated.
Yeah,
but it's not anywhere near as focused, but it's still very powerful. Yeah.
I want to get your take on the Olympics. I've been blown away by the drone piloting. So they're doing this both on something like this, like the downhill, but they're also doing it within like the luge track, which is wild.
Luge track, yeah.
Yeah. Like I think like people think like, oh, drones cool, like it's something I do, like I threw up a drone, or oh, this is being used in war and whatnot. But like, I mean, we're seeing all sorts of different applications of this kind of happening here at the Olympics.
That's nuts.
You know, fast forward 4 years to now, and I think this is some of the coolest video shots I've ever seen in my life. Like this is live video from a drone. Next Olympics, are we going to see CPT enabled drones kind of running the show, or what's the situation?
Well, I mean, I think we will genuinely, because there will be 2 types of drones fairly soon. There will be CPT enabled, and then there's going to be the antiquated stuff, the expendable stuff. So like this drone here right now, I mean, it will do like 5-10 minutes of flight time, and then it'll be done. And then you got to bring the next one in. But think about it, not just in terms of sport, but what about when you're like filming a movie, and the director says like action, and the whole set starts working, right? And then your drone, which has a massive like camera on it, because like film grade, Hollywood grade camera is really heavy, it runs out of energy in like 10 minutes, and then everyone has to stop. It's a really expensive stop, that, right? So the only way is to do CPT or have it cabled. But if it's cabled, then it doesn't fly around everywhere you want it. So I think there's like so much to be said about contactless power transfer. And not only that, in terms of drones, but also all of the other infrastructure. For example, the sensors that detect, like in the luge track, the sensors that are doing the detection. Right now, they're either battery powered or they're wired. But how about having a CPT sensor, which would then be, you wouldn't have the challenge of wiring the thing or running out of battery. You can actually put it literally on the athlete. There's just so much you can do with distributed energy, things that you just couldn't even imagine before.
Yeah, and I tried to find other the luge ones, but for some reason, man, X video, like you go play a video on X sometimes, it's just like it just doesn't work. So sorry about that, guys. But long story short is, like, if there's anything that came out of the Olympics over the last few days, just the drone shots are, yeah, all right. Maybe Dom.
I'll play.
Guys, you should watch drone shots for car racing. For like racetracks, like it is ridiculous, the sort of thing. There's some drone footage of like it's like a drifting race or something, I don't know, but the drone footage of that is astounding. The drone like literally like hovers by the window of the driver and you can see him like pulling the steering wheel. It's mental.
What the heck? Okay, let's see what I can find
it's
here.
A total game changer.
And we're always searching on X, so just
gotta be careful. Yeah,
gotta be careful. Yeah, play that one. Oh no, don't play.
Oh, don't play the blow up one.
Yeah, right. You'll see plenty of those drones just flying into people.
Oh, this is the anti-drone system.
Yeah, okay. Maybe yeah. Drone shot is maybe not what I'm gonna be searching here on X for demonstration purposes, but nonetheless. It is pretty crazy. Oh, there we are. Yeah, it is pretty crazy to see some of the capabilities of these drones. I'll have to look up the race one. That's sounds fun.
Actually, I do want to mention something very important regarding CPT and drone capability, which is that the biggest factor limiting drone capability is the fact that the battery system is working so hard to keep the drone flying that you have limited energy to use for advanced sensors and advanced systems. So when we solve that real far field extended power supply via laser to a drone, you can then increase it, you can scale it, and that's what our system is designed to be. Is designed to be scaled. You can then increase it, scale the power, and then you can put far more effective systems onto that drone to make it even more useful.
Don Lemon has an interesting question. We talked about this in the Rise of Silver. One of the catalysts I saw last year, I think it was early last year, Samsung filed like a patent for a silver based metal battery or something like that had here's the luge. I mean, shout out to the pilots that are doing this. This is like that's incredible. It sounds a little clunky. The drone sound is terrible. Like it sounds like a little mosquito, but I've seen that also that they're trying to improve the blades so that they're quieter as well.
Yes.
So maybe that's possible. But my question here around this, is there new battery technology that you think, I don't know, could like not make like wireless power transfer not even needed, but that is like interesting, I guess. I don't know. What are your thoughts on battery technology?
No, battery tech is developing really quickly and it's very interesting. And on top of that, I see it as a phenomenal addition. I would I look at battery improvement as a positive for CPT, because we work together. You can't, I mean, you can have CPT and no battery, but it's like kind of dicey. Like, what if you need to shut down the laser for a minute? I don't know. So they go hand in hand. It'll be like saying batteries will stop you from plugging your device into the wall or into the mains or whatever. Like, ultimately, you're still going to need to recharge at some point, but why not recharge it while it's doing something?
Yeah.
So, no, it's complementary. It's not a substitute product. It's complementary. But again, that's why we want to sell the solution and CPT opens the door to have the conversation. So I'm absolutely confident that during sales conversations, which we're already having, is like you go and sell something to someone, and you go, okay, with this CPT, you will never lose charge for this smart sensor. So it can work indefinitely. Or with this improved battery, you could operate it for like 3, 4, 8 years, maybe. And then the customer will then decide which one they'll go with. And that's why we're offering both. So that's why we're doing the full solution. That's why the S-Drone has a conventional battery in it as well, has the jet, it has CPT, or will do. And so it's about the solution rather than the tech. So no, I find it very exciting and complementary. Oh, there we go. The DJI matrice there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. That is fantastic. I mean, wow. You don't want to crash that into a car. Oh, no, come on. It's got to get closer than that. There's some videos where it's like super close.
Come on, Dom Lemon. You got to work harder, buddy, on the B-roll. And you're muted too, by the way.
I know I need an engineering upgrade. Yeah, no, imagine this thing hitting the car. That wouldn't be great. But crazy nonetheless. The drone technology in general is just so crazy to see happening in real life. Like, wild.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Drones and robots are really frontier exciting, like the development, the advancement of these technologies is remarkable.
It really is. Like I saw a video this morning. It was an update on some of the drones in a very prolific conflict zone, and it talked about these labs that they have set up that they're doing like research and development. They're doing manufacturing, and it's anywhere from like in the basement of a office tower in a capital in a certain war zone. Yeah. To right on the front line at the, division level. And their 3D printers are working around the clock. Like the guy said, they don't, as soon as the printer stops, more product is going in there to produce stuff. And he also said that 3D printed components used to be kind of looked down upon for their quality.
Now they're top quality.
However, he said now they've figured out techniques to have the 3D printed products work for the drones in their environment. And they're, they at any given moment of the front line, they would have 40 drones in the air simultaneously on any given day, right? And that's not even when there's, some sort of an event happening in front of them. They just automatically have 40 drones in the air at one moment, at one stretch of territory that they're trying to work with. So it's like, I think that people like they see 1 or 2 clips and they think it's like, okay, individual operators. And it's like, no. Like they're taking a stack of like, 10 drones at a time, no, more than that. They're like 100 drones at a time, right from manufacturing to a frontline position, like within hours, and they're used within hours. Like that's the assembly line.
Drones. Yeah, I mean, for a long time, artillery used to be the king of warfare. They used to create the most casualties. But now apparently reports are coming in that 70% of all casualties are through drones. Oh, this is I mean, look at that. Look at that. That is fantastic.
Oh, look, Dom Lemon doing the work. Damn, that's
dude, it's
awesome.
this is crazy.
Holy.
He gets closer to one of them. Like he basically gets in between them. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. Imagine driving and looking to your left and you just see a drone chilling right outside the window.
I look how it enters. Like, wow.
Yo, do you have is there audio on this? Can we just play the audio? It's not a
sure.
Yeah.
I think it's just
Gangsters, warriors, up Formula Trip, Frederick Hospital. Go to this shit, JC. He's in charge.
That's so sick. Yeah, that's pretty
So
nuts.
for those sorts of like applications, that drone is flying around like 5 minutes because it is working hard, right?
Yeah.
And you can imagine, battleship. What's that? What's that?
Sorry, boys.
You can imagine that you can have those magres coils or like loops basically around so that the drone can fly through them and maintain charge. Because they can be as wide as you like. Those hoops can be as wide as you like.
Right.
So then you don't have to switch around these drones. You just fly one high quality drone with a massive camera and massive power consumption, but it can sustain flight because it's just feeding off the energy that's being transmitted.
What's the effective range for magnetic resonance? Does it have to be within that loop, or can you beam it like the laser? Not really.
It's the way to think about it is it's like the size of a loop is more or less like take like 2/3 of the size of a loop and like push it outwards. Of course, if you up the power, you can get it to go a bit further. So if the loop was, say, I don't know, 6 feet, and you had enough power, you could project it 6 feet in between and then like maybe 4 feet outwards. It's really like, like how particle accelerators work, where they have like a vacuum chamber and it's like a tunnel, and you have just like massive magnetic fields that push particles around. It kind of works similar to that, I guess. You could imagine it like that. And so it can reach out a fair distance, especially if you don't have like people living or like sitting next to it, which on a racetrack, you can put it high up enough that it doesn't cause an issue. But I think look at that. That's incredible camera work.
Roman, you're the guy who talks too much, but we absolutely love it. And that's your title that you've put for yourself, just so everyone clues
I
in
didn't
on
know it
the
comes
clip.
up. I thought it was just for you guys.
No, the dude that talks too much. Oh, here we can no, we won't. I think like, okay, all this gets us excited. I mean, this is like, of course, who doesn't love drones and cool stuff like this? Crypto is pretty much like just, I don't know, depressed, and trading volumes are down in certain areas.
What's happened? I mean, I don't follow it. Like, what's happened there?
Man, it's just been the dog, dude. All-time
the
high
dog
historic year, and crypto is just lagging
the
behind.
millionth AI project has launched. People are building things that may or may not be useful one day. But hardware is tough. Not everyone can do hardware.
Indeed.
I think that's my message.
Thank you. That's a nice message. I appreciate that.
Well, on that note, it is always a pleasure, and we're excited to get some updates. Hopefully this deal gets closed in the next week. Maybe we can hear about that soon. And we're looking forward to the drone demonstration. That's going to be insane.
I have to call out a couple Dom Lemon questions on the wrap up here. What UFO crash site did Impulser discover inductionless charging at?
It's a great question. Area 51?
The core supplier of the supplier of the core components is PowerCast and Etherdyne Technologies. So check them out. Really cool products. And again, we stress that we have a partnership with PowerCast to commercialize the products. And we take their core components and we basically integrate them into a useful system as well. So that's where our IP comes in. What happens if a bird flies through one of these hoops? Yeah.
Dom Lemons will stick your head in there and see what happens. Your hair stands up.
Basically nothing. You have to be somehow resonating to the precise frequency, which you won't be because there's a bunch of frequencies in you. So So there's absolutely
but
no problem.
Dom Lemon resonates to the CPT frequency, just to be clear.
Amazing. All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much. If there's anything else, let me know.
No, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming on and sharing good news with us and entertaining us and talking drones. We love it.
Love it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.
All right, Roman.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Take care.
Legend. Crazy.